What's going on, folks? How you feeling? I hope you guys feeling great because I'm feeling great. Today was a good day. I am your boy Ella. I am the host of this show, this ASU show, Art of Sound, baby. We do this every Thursday live. So about the time, I say anywhere from 11 to 12 p.m. I can never get it straight every week, but it's about around that time. You can look for me. I try to send out an email. I hope you got an email. If you got an email from us, that means you are subscribed to our list. If you're not, then you need to go on over to our website, ksound.com, and just scroll around and add yourself to the list. Because, like I say, we always try to be involved with the cool and new things that's happening. I'm always showing you guys tips and tricks, different techniques that I learned throughout the years, throughout time, throughout each project. I'm learning something different, something new, something awesome. I'm trying to always discover things. And, I just find really cool things to share with you guys. All right. Specifically today is that big day. Studio One has raised the bar once again. I'm not on here to rebroadcast what happened today, but I wanted to point out just a few things that I thought was pretty cool that I can point out to you guys that I think that's definitely like straight up useful tool, like right away, like immediately. Studio One has a lot of updates that they did not mention in the live broadcasting, but I have them just pulled up on my phone. Actually, it's a list of things that they actually updated. Studio One 3.2, that is, and some of them we'll go ahead and talk about it, but like one of the major things I thought was pretty cool was the mixed engine effect, the VCA faders. Now, if you guys were like me, you seen the video. It was more like a teaser. You seen the video, and the thing we noticed the most was like this red fader. There's no red faders in Studio One, but there definitely was a red fader in the background, and everybody was coming up with their beliefs as to what it could be. Now it's been discovered, and I'm so excited to be able to talk about it with you. So, let me. Okay, so it's basically the VCA faders, which we're gonna briefly talk about that as well. They also added, yeah, the arrow tool enhancements, the range tool improvements, so it got improved. Crossfade editing improvements, extended layer taking editing, and I've seen this. It's pretty cool how they got where you can switch between different layers simultaneously without a problem, and you can hit a button and then it just switch automatically. And that's pretty much for comping. Like if you guys, you're recording, you got a vocal coming in, she doing like lead or whatever you may be doing, maybe recording guitar, and you have different takes that you're doing on that one track. So you can record all those takes, but the thing is, when comping, picking which section will fit will fit the final take or whatever is easier and more faster than ever before when trying to edit this stuff. So I'm excited about that, and it's like a long list of things: layer, event naming, and a lot of the stuff that I'm looking at is just going to take me time to kind of go through and play with it in my system, and kind of see what's going on and how to do it, and be looking forward to more tutorials and different videos that I will drop on my channel, just based on some of the dope updates that was announced today. All right. Extended tab to transient. Oh, that's a new one. That's another one I want to show you guys. Now we can tap the transient, like in Pro Tools. I feel like a lot of the updates, yeah, it definitely implements some of the things that other DAWs were doing. Like I know that was something I was using in Pro Tools when I was using Pro Tools at one point. I just love the fact. I do like the fact. I do like the editing ability inside of Pro Tools. One of them being tap to transient. I believe you could do that in Logic as well, but now we have that ability too. And see, guys, that's one of the reasons why I switched to Studio One, because it's like although they didn't have everything up, that I'm used to, some of the features that I love, in Pro Tools or Logic Pro. And when I came over here, it wasn't like I was settling for less. Studio One has already hit the market in a big way. You know what I'm saying? With how fast you can do things, the drag and drop features, and just the just everything that they're doing, how fast it is. Just that's mainly it, how fast the workflow. Because if you're like me, you got projects upon projects upon projects, and the main thing with me is workflow. Can I get through this workflow? Can I do this real fast and quick? But not to say that I'm trying to speed through my work. It's frustrating when you doing stuff and you want to just speed through it. You want to do it faster. Things that that you just come like second nature. You should be able to speed through it. So Studio One right now is hitting it for me as far as that. And so someone asked me, you've been with Studio One for a while now. What are your thoughts? Well, there's some of my thoughts. That's definitely how I feel about Studio One. So we're gonna dive in. I have a project I was working on. It's a gospel project I was working on, and I was working with drums. I'm actually close to done, as a matter of fact, but I wanted to pull it up again now that the new updates are available, and kind of see. So I haven't had a chance to really play around like I want to. So if I stumbled across something, or I find something, or can't really quite implement something perfectly like a pro yet, that's because this is the first day it launched. This is my first time playing with it, and so you guys get to see me live in action, make all of my mistakes. So as usual, I'm going to pull up my comment section. I'm sure I have questions that will be hitting this video. Yeah, okay. Thanks, Joe. Junior Lee, thanks for joining. Let's see. Okay, now I can see the questions. I'm gonna kind of position everything, see if I can get everything positioned. All right, Jermaine Hamilton, what's up, man? Thanks for joining. I'm just starting. Should I get this, dog? That's a good question. Well, I don't know. Yeah, you should. You should. I mean, it depends on where are you, like where, as far as like, are you new to producing or mixing? Like, what DAW have you worked on prior to this, or you just straight out? I mean, either or. If you are coming from somewhere or you're just starting out, I recommend Studio One all day. I do that all day, every day. I even recommend the Studio One for my father. My father's a bass player, and he wanted something. He wanted a way to record his ideas and blah blah blah. And I prefer, it was like a Pro Tools package and the Studio One package. I prefer Studio One, and this is when I was still kind of heavy in Logic, and for production purposes anyway, I was thinking Pro Tools is probably not better, and it's not your best bet. If you have Pro Tools, it's really more so for the guys that are mixing, because Pro Tools is a phenomenal platform for mixing or whatever. But as far as producing music, most guys tend to lean towards DAWs like Logic, Ableton Live, things like that, maybe Reason or whatever. But for me, Studio One has, like, it's all in one for me, mixing, producing music, editing, sound design, mastering, like, is all here. And another question, what's good, Kevin? Finally made it. What's good, Damien? What's going on, man? You finally made it out. I got your message from the other day. That's what's up. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and talk about this new update. As y'all can see, I got a excitement type thing going on with me. But I soloed some drums out, and this is what they sound like. Now, this is a project that I am mixing right now. This is not something that I recorded on my own. This is a mix that was recorded in Nashville, Tennessee, I believe. So this project was actually sent to me. All right, that's the beauty about technology these days. You know, you can mix everybody's project, and it doesn't matter where it's from. But some of the things that you'll notice right off the back, all right, let's talk about the things that you'll notice. It's like, wow. Some of the things that they talked about was, and I'll say one of my, I wouldn't even say that this is my number one feature, but you notice right off the back, mix effects. And as I see, mix effects, it pops up on the top here. It's only available on the top of any bus or group folder. All right. So I like to play around with this on the drum specifically. So let's switch to this console, this mix effect here. And basically what this is a console shaper. All right. This is the name of the plugin, automatically implemented in the new update Studio One 3.2. And basically what this is, it basically takes the shape of any console. All right. And it's pretty much still new. But guys, this takes a whole new platform for different people to come in and make up emulations for this specific platform here. You know, and they were saying in the broadcast where SoftTube is coming on board and some other people that's going to come on board so that you can get that same sound, you know, as if you was to mix your projects on a console, you know what I mean? Like a Neve or SSL or something like that. So you have different parameters here. You have the drive, you have the noise, you have the crosstalk. So I'm gonna deactivate all of that, and let's just go in and one by one and see what the possibilities are. And I'm looking at, okay, I don't see any presets yet. So let's turn on this drive here. That's pretty cool. Wow. Immediately I noticed the difference. All right. So you also have the noise shaper here. You know, you can hear it automatically. The noise that analog consoles give, you can actually put that back in your mix. And what this is totally dope. What I noticed automatically, if you guys, I don't know if you can see this, but right here, down at the bottom here, on these tracks at the bottom, I noticed. Let's go back to my console shaper thingy here. I noticed as soon as I click noise, there's like static that's being created on each channel in this bus. This is the bus, all right, or a folder. This is a folder I created. This is pretty cool. So it gave me noise. It's like a console, and I could dial it in however I need to. And that's if you want that noise. You know what I mean? Analog gear creates a little fuzz, white noise, or something, some type of something, you know. But we're gonna deactivate that. I want my mix to be rather clean. But the crosstalk I thought was pretty cool. So say for instance, I solo my snare or whatever. This might not be a good a good example because the snare is automatically bleeding the other drums. But I hope I can show you guys what how this works. So the kick, it seems like the kick and the snare is coming out now. But if I turn this crosstalk on, it's like everything in this bus is like bleeding together in a sense. You know what I'm saying? It's more of a bleed, you know. So this works. Definitely I can see this being really dope, especially for drums, because if you say like you programming drums on a keyboard, MIDI keyboard or whatever, if you programming drums like that and you want to create that real live sound, that real live acoustic type effect where the drums do bleed, you know what I'm saying? When you record live drums, you get that bleed from other drums where you have the cymbals in and hi-hats bleeding on the snare mic. You know what I'm saying? That's natural. But if you was recording clean music where nothing is bleeding, you can actually create that effect by using the crosstalk here, just like a board on an analog board. Well, this is pretty cool. I like this. Wow, that's cool. That's cool. That's cool. I'm getting stuck right there because it's like that just brought out. It's like it just brought out my mix. So if I leave that there and just turn down my bus here, I'm wondering. Makes a big difference. Makes a big difference. That's awesome. Jermaine, you said very new, never used a DAW before. Just bought the iMac and getting started. Okay, yeah, I definitely recommend Studio One as that DAW to get started in, and it grows with you because. And let me say this. One of the other reasons I mentioned this before. But one of the other reasons why I joined Studio One is because it's a growing community. They are a company with the producers in mind. You know what I'm saying? With the people, with music lovers in mind. You know what I mean? They got it's like a dog after our own heart. You know what I'm saying? And they listen to us, people like us. And when we make suggestions and things like that, they listen it and they implement that stuff. So it's really not like Studio One is trying to copy or mimic any other DAW. They make adjustments to their stuff based on the users. So everything we see and the ability to do the different things that we're able to do is based on us. It's based on us. And it's like, yes, you know what I mean? It's almost like when somebody make you an offer, you know what I mean? And the most logical thing to do is, if you're going to move or accept an offer, the first question is, how would this affect me? Will this make things better? You know what I'm saying? Is it worth it? How much more will I benefit from accepting your offer versus something else I'm already doing? Why should I accept that offer? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if you're coming from Logic Pro, Pro Tools, Reason, or wherever you're coming from, it's like, should I make that switch to Studio One? That's really your call. But I mean, the things that they are doing inside this DAW is like, okay. If you switch over, it's like you get everything you're used to and more. That's what happened to me when I was using Logic Pro. I felt like I'm at home. You know what I'm saying? I'm at home. I'm not going anywhere. I love Studio One. Yeah, there were some things that I really didn't care for, but you know, it was one of those things where I know they're gonna fix it later on. I ain't gotta worry about that. You know, and that's just how I feel. But yeah, I recommend Studio One as that dog to get started. And the other reason is, if you are following me, I can help you understand Studio One to a point where you're becoming a pro at doing it. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like you have a personal go-to guy to learn different things. I already have several videos, you know, inside of Studio One here, but and I will continue showing you guys different things as I find them. So yeah, definitely recommend Studio One. Eugene, thanks for joining. Logic X won't come back from this. I was sold on this after I saw S1. Great sound browser. Yeah, I let me say this. As a former native Logic user, I will not and I refuse to bash anybody else, any other DAWs out there. I think Logic Pro is awesome. You know what I'm saying? I still have it on my system. But for me, I think the switch that I made, I'm I'm good. You know, I'm great. I'm feeling great about my decision. You know what I'm saying? And but Logic Pro is still an awesome DAW. It's awesome. You know what I mean? I've used it for so many years. I had it since Logic Pro 8.0, and it's awesome. You know what I mean? But Studio One is it's what's doing it for me right now. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I like your channel. Greeting from Germany. That's what's up. So you're from Germany. Thanks. Yeah, my channel. I have a bunch of cool stuff on here. You know, I try to do what I can. Um, there's also a couple of tutorials I have, like extended tutorials on my website ksound.com. If you guys don't mind, go ahead on over there and check it out. Subscribe to the site. Once again, I have extended tutorials, and I will be making more tutorials extended, like going step by step, showing you guys some things. I got music production on there. I have, tips on how to mix music, and it's really instrumental right now. But I will be focusing on a full mix with vocals and everything in one, and kind of showing my perspective as to where I'm going. And with these type of updates, man, these type of updates. All right, so the next thing we could talk about is us audio guys, we could talk forever about something. But the next thing I want to hit on is the VCA faders. Now, in this instance, I thought this was pretty cool because now I haven't created it yet, but when I was mixing this drums here, I have two snares here, which is the top and the bottom. All right. And as you know, the snare bottom is giving me more of the snarey sound. And the top mic is giving me more of the attack of the snare. All right. So you need both of them. There's a mic on top and bottom just to give you that full tone of a snare. All right. So my job is to blend them together where they, Now, here's the cool thing about this. I can create a VCA fader right quick. And just right quick, add VCA channel. No, add VCA for selected channels. There we go. That's what I wanted. Now, what I didn't like is how I threw my VCA all the way over here, but I believe I can move it to wherever I want. Nope. I can't move it. So anyway, I'm sure I'll figure this out. But basically, what I'm noticing so far is almost like it's giving you some of the same parameters as a bus, where you can solo. But here's the cool thing about it, and this is going to be my snare. Now you can't add any plugins on it. It's just a VCA fader. But here's the cool thing about it. I can control how loud or soft I want it. And let's duck all these other things so we can kind of see everything all at once. All right, so my drums, this is my snare. Wow, that's pretty cool. So it's like it labels it down here. It says snare because that's what I labeled the VCA fader right here. So it says snare down here, which is pretty cool. So here's the thing, like the difference between VCA faders and grouping. That was a question. Like, isn't it the same as grouping? No, it's not the same as grouping. Is actually a little pretty better because I can control this fader. And then you could definitely see that it moves up and down my snare drum here. But if I need to make an adjustment to one of them, it doesn't affect. I could do that without ungrouping. You know what I'm saying? Like if you group something, you have to ungroup it. You can group things in here by going here. Like I can group all of my drums together. So if I want to adjust one, you know, it does that. That's what grouping does. It grouped everything in that folder. But that's not what the VCA fader is. It's not grouping. I'm gonna turn off the group. It's like it's like a semi-group, if I can say that. It controls whatever you have selected, but if I need to make an adjustment to an individual track, I could do so with no problem, which is pretty dope. This saves time. Oh my God, this saves time, and it's like this was something that they had in Pro Tools. Now Studio One has a way that you can get your job done and do your thing, So obviously there's other parameters. Let's see. If I group 3 times together, okay. So I can definitely move my VCAs back and forth over here, but I guess this is a dedicated section. What that may be pretty cool. That I think that might be pretty cool. But I wonder if there's a way to detach it and move it wherever I need to. And also, see, and this is the other dope thing about this is I can think of another reason why the VCA fader would be really dope, because like in the instance of recording, say you're recording say you're using automation, right? Say you riding the vocal, and you got different, sections where, the automation may take the volume higher or lower, just depending on what your vocalist is doing, right? Now, if you are using automation on the volume fader on that specific channel, then it's like you cannot control that. You can't go back in the mix and adjust your volume and think that that's gonna, say you need the overall vocal to be heightened. A lot of times we'll go in and grab a another plugin. And it's like any plugin for that matter. And just to make the volume a little louder or bring it down some, depending on what your taste is, what your needs are. But this is a great way to give your track or that channel or channels, whatever, whichever is selected, give them that volume that it needs and not affecting the individual automation, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense with with you guys. But anyway, do you still pretty boy, he says, do you still use Machine with Studio One, or is it useless? Absolutely, I still use Machine. Machine is a part of my production workflow. I definitely use it. Now, I haven't been showing any videos lately of me using the Machine because I kind of been using all of my focus towards Studio One and trying. I get a lot of mixed projects, if that makes sense. But when I'm producing, when I'm making music, I definitely lean on my Machine to give me what I need, drums and whatever. A lot of times I may just use Machine standalone on its own and get production done like that, just depending on what I'm doing and the sound I'm going for or what I feel like working in, you know what I'm saying, that type of thing. So it really varies, but I definitely use Machine, and you can use Machine as a plugin inside of Studio One with no problem. I had a question another day about that, about using Machine in Studio One, and so I guess it's time to update my channel with another video showing my interaction with the Machine in Studio One. There's actually a course I have on my website as well. If you go to ksound.com, and there's a course on there for Machine, learning Machine. If you guys need help with understanding how Machine works, it's like a basic tutorial, and it's pretty extensive where I show you and break down each section and what it does, and I give a brief. There's a brief part in there where I show you how you can integrate it with your Studio One. So, that's on the website as well if you're looking to learn more about that. All right, so yeah. So anyway, moving on to the next thing. I don't want to spend too much time on this subject right here because I'm really not that fluent in it. But Melodyne 4, they just did a new update. I have Melodyne 4, the editor edition. So actually I don't. I haven't updated yet. But if you have as you guys know, when you give Studio One, it automatically comes with Melodyne Essentials, which is like their bare bones minimum basic editor, which is cool. You know what I'm saying? Because you can do what you need, and I like the fact that that is integrated in Studio One because you can analyze your audio automatically. It's like on the fly, bam, it's there. You don't have to do anything different. So that's a great thing about how well Melodyne and Studio One integrates with each other. I love that. But I have the editor edition where it gives me more tools to work with. So I get really deep into vocal tuning and things of that such. But there's new integrations, because Melodyne did upgrade. Studio One's new 3.2. All of the integration it makes it even sweeter. You know what I'm saying? Like you could tune versus you could tune in polyphonic versus mono. All right, so like that's a big deal right there. Not only just one mono track, you can actually tune polyphonic. You know what I mean? More of a stereo feel type thing. You know what I mean? Several things going on. So, big ups to Melodyne, Ceremony. Big up to you guys for the updates that you did there. All right. Also, tempo map. The tempo mapping has been improved. I like that, the tempo mapping thing. Like if you are recording live, whatever, you did not have a metronome when you were doing that, Studio One has a better way of finding your tempo. So again, I just have to get in and just play around with it and see what's going on. But let me show you guys this. This is something I thought was pretty cool. And For me, in this instance, specifically for editing drums, the ability to tap the transients is dope. So let me show you that. So, for instance, if I'm looking to just jump to a transient for like, this is dope, like for editing purposes. Now you can just hit the tab button and it'll just follow the transients. Like, this is crazy. That's crazy. This is something that I used to do in Pro Tools. This is one of them things I was talking about. Like, you can tap the transits and find the transits, no problem. So now you don't have to search, where to go. So editing is totally on a whole nother page. Also, the Smart tool, they implemented or made better the Smart tool. I'm fine. I guess I could just tear this song up right quick just to show you guys some things and just undo later or whatever. Oh, another thing I thought was pretty cool was how I can select. Now it loops. Actually, we need to start at that loop, wherever I looped at. And I'm not really sure. I think it's, you know what? Wait, okay. That's why I am. Let's turn this loop back on. I turned it off. Let's come over here. Now it's doing something totally different. I have key commands in here and I have it set doing something else. Now, I already told y'all. Okay, let's see if that works. Oh, see, I forgot to tell y'all about that. This is pretty cool. I promise you guys I'm coming back and I'm gonna explain to you guys all of this good stuff. But this is my first time coming in here and this, like, so it's like, it doesn't matter where you are. It always start. I'm explaining to you. I have to I have to find a better way to explain what I just did. But like, if you go to transport and functions, it's like you can enable the play start marker. And I believe that has to do with like with the looping. So I can loop this, right? And it automatically create a loop for me. That's what, like, selecting. And this this was something you was able to do in Pro Tools, right? Now you can do it in Studio One. All right, this is pretty dope. So say okay, let's see if I can explain it right quick. Let's see if it works. If I was to enable my marker, no, I need to move that marker. Say I wanted to start from there. This will be pretty cool. Like, if I have a section, like a complete, like a loopable section. It sounds a little crazy now because it's like the drums is coming in like a few nudge milliseconds before the actual downbeat right here. And again, this is something you experience playing around with acoustic music. I didn't bother by fixing that because I kind of want to let the track have its natural human feel. So it's like, as long as it sounds and it gelling with the entire band, there's no reason to really like nudge over. But in the event that you need to do that, you can do that with no problem. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut here. Let's check out some things right quick. I seen a guy do something, and I forgot what he did. he did something where he moved something in here and it stayed in place, like the cut, the region itself, it stayed in place. So I'm gonna figure that out, no problem. But I just want to show you guys the what was it, the looping function, and also the smart tool. I guess I could show you guys the crossfade as well. Now, as far as this is the smart tool icon here. Now, I'm curious as to hold on one second. Let's make this bigger. Let's try linking these two together here. Wait, I gotta change my tool. Okay. Okay, I get it now. So the smart tool, depending on where you are, this is like Logic Pro actually. So if I'm on the bottom half, it acts as a cursor tool. Because for a second I'm like, how I need to select this track, but it's not selecting the track. So at the bottom, it's select the track, and at the top, you can select. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. All right, so check this out. They said they made the smart fade, the crossfader. They made some enhancements to it. So I just made a fade here. Again, I have to play with it just to see what difference, but right now this is pretty normal. Yeah, pretty normal stuff. This is what and I can move it around like I want to, and that might be the big change. I don't know. Cool. All right, so big enhancements there for guys like me, especially because they also did something with the zoom in, how you can easily zoom in, and like my key commands are a little bit different, so I wouldn't even know the command for zooming in. It's yeah, I wouldn't know, but I usually when I need to zoom in and out, it's usually like that, which is the quickest for me. So yeah. All right, so yeah. I think I covered everything I want to cover with you guys. I'm looking at my list. If I have any questions, oh, I see quite a few. Yeah. All right, let's get to these questions here. All right, so yes, Mr. Dennis, you have 3.2 update. Yes, indeed, yes, indeed. This is awesome. This is awesome. Damien, that's a sweet feature. Yeah, that's what's up. Dre, Studio One is getting very similar to Cubase 8.5. If only we had Studio One browser. You know what? Let me address that right quick. So it is. I don't know if you guys know, but it is a known fact that some of the guys that help create Cubase is the same guys that came over and created Presonus Studio One. So a lot of the things that I heard several people say that they are similar, like Cubase is similar to Studio One, and that could be because some of the developers were from the Cubase platform. You know what I'm saying? And I guess not to make it so like Cubase, they doing something different, going in a different direction or whatever. But I just want to say that then. So I mean that could very well be the case or whatever. But I don't know. I don't want to make like any calls, any judgments as to why they moving in this direction. I think it's a great thing because and you know I feel like Presonus, they very smart. They know people like me has played around with a couple of dolls, and it's always a struggle and a battle as to what doll is it that you should be using that will help you better with your workflow. And again, like I mentioned earlier, it's like the fact that they take our ideas, like people like me and you, and they implement it in their update. You know what I'm saying? That's huge to me. That's like huge on their customer service, their support team. You know, just that whole platform is like we have a company that listens to producers. They listen to composers. They mix it to mix engineers. They listen to us. You know what I'm saying? They're not forcing a system on us to learn. It's a system created by producers. All right, that's the concept behind Studio One. It's a system created by us, and I feel good about that. I feel good about working from a situation that was designed by me. Not everything, but you know, I have inputs as well as to what I feel like needs to be implemented, and I am starting to see some things. Now I have to play around with it a little bit more, like I say, and just look out for those videos pretty soon. I'll definitely keep you guys updated. Great update. Gonna have to lab up on that for a while. Absolutely, and thanks, Eastland. Hope I said your name right. Thanks for joining. I appreciate you. Audio was an Audible Heat. All right. Audible Heat says getting close to being the only doll I will use, but still missing some killer features like chord track and virgin territory in Cubase 8.5. If Studio One 3 ever incorporates that, geesh. Yeah. Again, let me say this once again. I feel like Studio One is in the right direction. There are still some things that they don't have. All right. Some things that you guys might be used to, and definitely some things that I wasn't used to, or some things I was used to, and it wasn't, implemented in Studio One. But like everything that Studio One is and does, that totally triumphed my way of thinking, the way of doing things. It was like the way that Studio One functions. I feel like this is better to me. I just have to learn new ways of doing something. You know what I mean? And that's totally fine. And that's essentially the battle with a lot of people. They don't want to learn something new after you have a nice workflow and something. Like I said, I was in Logic Pro for some years, and it's like to get into something else, learn something new, But Studio One has made it easy. It's super easy to learn. I've only been using it for 5, 6, probably 7 months now, and I've completed a lot, quite a bit in it, and I love it. So Rob says, does this update have chord track feature? When you say chord track feature, let's see if this is what you are talking about. Because if this is what you're talking about, I probably solved a lot of problems. So let's go to a new track, instrument track. Let's change the color of it or whatever. And let's hide everything. Let's just focus on that one. You know what? That wasn't the last one. I forget which. Okay, cool. All right. This is my bass synth here. And Studio One has what's called, I deleted I didn't delete anything, but I've all right, anyway. All right, Studio One has note effects. All right, and those effects, you can access them over here if you want to in the browser, or you can go to your information section or inspector. That's what they call it. I hit the letter I always pull up my inspector here. All right, so in your note effects here, you have the quarter, and I don't know if that's what you're talking about. Let's pull up an instrument. And I guess we can use massive. Okay, I got some details. Audio was said no, it doesn't, but still dope. No, not the snap to scale. Then it says S1 is a young dog compared to other dogs. Absolutely, and I feel like Studio One is doing a great job still being young. You know what I'm saying? Rob says chord track is a chord progression tool to help you create progressions, melodies, etc. So I guess this is what I'm talking about. So I'm on the right page. You're talking about the quarter. Yes, chord track quarter. Absolutely. You can jog in. I don't know if that's loud for some of you guys. Loud to me. But yeah, you can go in here and change your chord types. Here's your minors and your majors, diminished, augmented chords here, suspended chords here, and you can change the interviews to fifths, major thirds. For some reason, it's not let me access this with my MIDI device here. Let's see if I change. Probably need to be in learn mode or whatever. But yeah, I think that would be my answer to what you just said. No, quarter and chord track not the same. Okay, but still a cool feature. Okay, I thought that this is what you was talking about, but yeah, this is the quarter, the quarter, Studio One's quarter. Yeah, and then the other effects that they have is input, filter, repeater, and arpeggiator as well. I like the arpeggiator. Arpeggiator is pretty dope to me. Yeah. I'm using abortion, but not feeling it anymore. Is that Ableton? Is that what you're saying? Because you spelled abortion. But not feeling it anymore and looking at Studio One now as a new dog. Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, I caught that typo. I figured that's what you meant. Thanks for the Studio One support. A young community, but growing fast. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah. I'm gonna be logging off pretty soon here, but yeah, guys, I definitely appreciate you guys for watching. And again, you know, like I was saying, like I've been saying throughout the video, Studio One is definitely like one of the newer dolls on the platform. But to be as young as they are and how fast they moving, it's like you better get in, better get in now, you know, because this is an awesome platform for production and mixing and mastering. I do it all in here. Now I will say this is something I would love to see them um better better implementation in the movie editing area. I haven't tested it yet. Perhaps they made adjustments. Maybe they fixed something, but in order to edit music according to a movie that you will insert inside your session, it only works in the 32-bit platform, and it doesn't work in the 64-bit yet. So, like I say, a lot of things that they've done under the hood. I have a long list of things that they did. I cannot name them all. It's a pretty extensive list here of everything that they did here. I don't know if you guys can see that, but there's quite a bit here, and I'm just gonna play around with it and see what's good. Various multi-touch improvements, automation improvements, new mix options, which is what we talked about, the VCA, preserve order of channels with folder track. Okay, that probably solved my issue with moving the VCA fader, but I don't know. I'm gonna just play around with it. The new quick zoom option. It says use your plus and alt zoom range. Yeah, it's just a lot of things that they have in here, and I just thought it would be cool to kind of come in and like let y'all know what's going on, like how I feel like this implements or how it coincides with what I'm doing as a producer and you know what I'm doing over here. I'm always streaming about my projects inside of Studio One, and this is my overview, so to say, and I think it's dope. I think everything they're doing is pretty awesome, and you know, this is pretty cool. Bro, how Audio Suite Render works? Can't find it. If you're speaking of like rendering like an effect, and that's by Craft Math. Craft Math asks how the Audio Suite Render works. Like if you was to add a effect on an audio, like an audio region. So say like you have chopped up regions in one track, you can render an effect onto one slice, and that's it. So like you can have different effects on. You can have different effects. Like you can have a reverb, a crazy reverb on like one word, and the next word can be like a echo effect or something, and you can render all that in the same track. I don't know if that's what you're referring to, but it's definitely possible. I've done it before. The Reaper says for S1, you use it in the event effects, unless you're referring to Pro Tools. I don't know what I was saying there, but event effects. Okay. Skeet says I'm hoping for more MIDI functions and better samplers. I am too. That is actually one of the things that I have in the back of my head, like as far as MIDI. But again, I have not done anything as far as MIDI here, so I really can't really. You know what? And I know why my keyboard is probably not. My keyboard is not working because every time I do an update, I need to update the file, which sucks. But it sucks. It really does sucks But this type of keyboard, it has a file that I think get knocked out somehow every time I do an update, and I have to put that file back in or find an update, and then it works again. So, I mean, it's a real easy fix. And I was like, man, what's going on? But yeah, one of the hottest, if not the hottest dog out there right now. Yeah, I read that already, I think. Yeah, I definitely agree with you. Audible Heat, I definitely agree with you. Craft Mav says, thanks, Reaper. Cool, cool. Wheel, 2 games. Nice instead of making new tracks. Got some more coming in. Rob says the drum rack in Ableton is the reason why I haven't switched to Studio One. If the make of a plugin like that, it's a wrap. I'm gonna address that right quick. But Eastland says I still keep Cubase like it's it's like slice it. The words kind of broke up, whatever. Can't let go of the reason though. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, guys. At the end of the day, the DAW that you choose to work in is all about user preference. Whatever you like, it's whatever you like. Get it in how you need to. You know, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Some people like Logic. Some people like Ableton. Some people like Bitwig, which is actually the newer one. It's newer than Presonus. Some people like doing their thing in Pro Tools. I ain't knocking none of you guys that has different workflows, because you know you have workflows and you built up something where you know where it's just second nature to you. But I made a switch because it was a lot of things I was attached to as well, like in Logic Pro, like, and I know what you mean. Who was it that said that? I think it was Rob. You mentioned that you is one thing that's keeping you where you are. Now Logic Pro has this like studio drama, and the studio drama is pretty dope in Logic. You know what I'm saying? For those of you that don't know how to play drums or are looking for a drummer or whatever, you could definitely use studio drama. And studio drama is like close to real, like having a real player in your session. I had a couple of people who said that they love everything that Studio One does, but to have studio drama. And I had another gentleman say that like because he's an organ player, Logic Pro's a stock organ, like the way that it functions and the sound that it gives, and the way that you can use your, you know, just the way it's set up, the MIDI information, how you can switch between tremolo and you know, the different things that an organ does when switching. You know what I mean? You can switch key switches and all of that. He just loved the sound and how it works. And that seems to be the only thing that's holding him back is the organ. But recently he just went on ahead and switched to Studio One and just go back to Logic and just to get that organ and just bounce it out and bring it back over and continue to work. It's like whatever works for you. It whatever works. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. That's why I never, Ski says, that's why I never like Ableton. I hated the UI. Yeah, the UI inside of Studio One is pretty dope. That's why it's so fast and everything is like this. You know what I'm saying? Even the new updates that they implemented, like the mix effects to getting together, the console. What is it? The console shaper. It doesn't really pull from your CPU, like an instrument does. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Hi, Ram Chandra. thanks for joining. The Reaper says impact is cool, but I use battery for more advanced shaping. Ableton is dope. I use it regularly with S1, but they take years to bring features in new versions. Absolutely. Impact is pretty dope to me as well, but Impact is just very simple. You know what I'm saying? Just to get a couple of things on the pads and play them out. It's cool. I also use battery too. I have an extensive library, a native instrument library. I have Omnisphere. You know what I'm saying? I have a lot of other stuff like Synth Master in here and some other stuff I have. I got what is this ample guitar here? You definitely, third party stuff does make your production a lot sweeter because other people can do what they do better. Like I like Logic Pro had this new synth they dropped. I can't remember the name of it, but like that was like, man, you dropped that, but I've already switched over. But I did go back over and play with it. Like that synth thing, man, that synth. Now that's one thing is bad. Like that synth, I love that synth, and I can't think of the name of it for some reason. But it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I always found workarounds and ways to get my job done. So you drag it. Okay, a drum rack is basically a drum sampler. Like, wait, let's go back up. But at this point, Reason is just a VST, a standalone VST. Yeah. You talking about Reason? Reason did, about propeller heads. I like Reason. Reason is pretty cool. This is a whole different. Yeah. Oh, never mind. You you probably responding to nah. Never mind. I'm getting it is a bunch of questions and comments coming at the same time. Okay, so a drum rack is basically a drum sampler. Like, okay, so you guys talking to each other, drag and drop, kick, snares, hi hats. It's not studio drama, like in Logic Pro. Yeah, I mean, studio drama is a plugin or drum synthesis or whatever. It's studio drummer is studio drama, in my opinion, is similar to no studio drummer. Now I'm trying to think of the names of the stuff. I'm a little confused, but there are drums inside of Contact 5. I don't think it's called studio drummer. I think, and I'm y'all got me. But I use Contact drums anyway. But I play. I'm a drummer, so I Contact drums are dope to me. And what is it? I just pulled it up here. Okay, Contact studio drummer. It could be called something else in Logic, but basically these are live drums here that I love, and I'll use these, and I have a MIDI kick behind me, and I'll play the drums or whatever, and it gives me what I'm looking for. It gives me what I need. Now with Logic, their drummer is like it's like loops. It's like interactive loops in a sense. Like you can make them switch and interchange. Like if you want more of a clean sound, or you want a lot of fills and like even solos, or you want a straight groove, or you want a more of a something a little bit more gritty, or a little harsher. That's dope for that, like for people who can't play drums or whatever. But I that's not something that kept me there, but a lot of people that might be very useful. But um I like the workflow with sings and how it loops together with say 4 bars to 16 bars. Absolutely. I'm gonna wrap it up here, guys. I'm gonna read a few more. Where's that link to all the 3.2 updates? Actually, it was a link that I seen Presonus. Um, they tweeted a link. If you guys are following me on Twitter, then you can find it, or you can go to Presonus. But Presonus is tweeting out quite a bit of things, so you probably won't be able to see it. Let me see if I can find exactly where this is right quick. Can't really see, but I'll retweet this if you guys follow me on Twitter, ksound. I'm finna give you the website, but it's twitter.com/ksound, KSOUNDD, and I will retweet this link. But it has all of the everything that all in the updates. All right, thank you, man. Love your tutorials. I appreciate you guys for watching. Just a few more. Did you get my macros? Did you get my macros? I don't know if that question was for me. Alchemy. Thank you, Rob. That's it. That's exactly what I was talking about. Alchemy is dope. Alchemy been out for a very long time, even before it hit Logic. But Logic just recently purchased Alchemy, and that's a sick that's one sick engine right there. You know what I mean? That would be a reason why I would stay. But it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I made macros for 16 level and sampling pretty much. Cool. That's what's up. Alchemy is dope, but there's a lot of alternatives. Exactly. I agree. Which music label are you signed to? I'm not sure if that's for me, but I'm not signed to any label. I have my own company, my own production company. But I have different deals on the table where I work with different placements or whatever. And I have my music playing on TV and different networks and things like that. So I have my own thing going on. Make sure you get all your Apple loops, and that's one of the dope things that you can do inside of Studio One is you can use your Apple loops inside of Studio One. That's thanks for mentioning that. Audible Heat. Where can I find your music? You can find my music on ksound.com, KSOUNDD.com. And again, on this channel, I have several things that I kind of break down musically that I've worked on or whatever, but on my website is where you can find links to everything that I have involved. My SoundCloud is on there as well. And actually the more so direct link would be ksound.com/listen. So that would be like really direct to the music, but there should be like a button on there where you can find the music. Island says I don't use it and don't plan on using it, but Omnisphere 2 is nuts. Absolutely. I have Omnisphere 2, by the way. I use Ableton. It's been 5 years. Kevin, I have a buddy who uses, this is Damien. Kevin, I have a buddy who uses FL, but he sends me tracks to enhance in Studio One 3 all the time. I'm trying to get him to convert though. That's funny. That's funny. All right. But that's dope though. That's really dope. FL is probably easier for a lot of people who's just making quick beats, like trap beats, hip hop, stuff like that. So he probably don't see a benefit of switching, but I don't know what the deal is, why he wouldn't just switch over, but like I can get it done inside of Studio One 3. So your favorite plugins for mastering? My favorite plugins will be, I use Kramer a lot, which is a tape emulation. I use that a lot. Like I will use that throughout the mix. Actually, I always use it on my drum bus. I use it on my master, and it really depends. Like I don't use it all the time, but it depends. I love using the Azotope Ozone 6. That's primarily the plugin I use at the end. That's the last plugin I use on my main strip for mastering, because you can do all of what you need, like multi-band compression. You can stereolize things and then get a wider stereo mix using that, and you can do like EQing in there. Yeah, and then you could just with Ozone, the mastering, Ozone 6, you can set it up to bounce out the way you need to for different mastering situations. If you're going to MP3, you can, or if you need to bounce to a disc, you know what I'm saying, you can set it up where you have it 16-bit, 24-bit. You can switch between things. You can set the dithering as well in there. So yeah, Ozone 6 is pretty dope. It's what I'm using. I want to get Ozone 7. I will be getting that pretty soon. But yeah, that's what I use, and it just really depends on the mix itself, like what's going on. I may use a Neve channel strip to drive it on on the end. But now that the console the console shaper is here, there's new possibilities there. Also, you can play EXT24. Absolutely, absolutely. That was the other thing that I was thinking. Like, you can do a lot of things with Logic Pro stuff inside of Studio One, so that's pretty cool. FL Studio pissed me off back when I used it, and because Image Line didn't disable the circular panning law option. I don't really understand that language because I'm not an FL user. So, but yeah, that's probably some of the same reasons why I don't use Pro Tools. It's just, I don't know. I just prefer not to use that. T-Rax 2, you guys are awesome. You guys are awesome. How long has it been since you started in music production? I've been in business over 16 years. I've been saying that for years. It's probably about 20 years now. I don't know. I started like 98. 1998 is when I started my production company. So it's been some years since I've been in business. Let's see. But I've been I started earlier than that though. But the production company I started in 98. But I've been playing drums since I was a kid and dabbling around with production here and there, and didn't make it serious until 98. You know what I'm saying? Guys, how can you change meter color? I can't find that in Google. I can see some guys got green meters, colors. That I don't know the answer to. I've never paid attention. I never had I don't know. That's something I probably need to look more into. Green is when you have your audio track on. Okay, there you go. So it depends on how your things are set up. Cool. Thank you so much for all of the answers. Absolutely. Thank you guys for coming out and hanging out with me. I'm gonna go ahead and end it. My iPad is about to die. It's at 1%. Can't go any longer because I won't be able to see y'all questions anyway. But you guys were awesome, and I hope I was able to help a lot of you guys that may have had questions. Again, there will be updates throughout my channel. You guys will see the meat and potatoes behind the new Studio One 3.2 update. As I get in and start doing things, you guys will definitely see what's going on, some things I found and discovered. So always, look forward to that. Also, do not forget, go to ksound.com, visit the website, subscribe your email to be sure to get all the updates and things like this. When we have, I do these every Thursday, as a matter of fact. And just today was dedicated towards the update that Presonus put out there on the platform, and I'm excited about it. What they got going on. This is pretty awesome. So It's been great. Thank you guys for hanging out with me, but I got to go. I would love to hang out and but I don't want this video to be longer than it already is. But anyway, at the end of the day, it's all about doing what you love, and you know that's it. Do what you love, and whatever makes sense to you. You know, it is what it is. The studio won't for me. All right, music is art. You are the artist. Paint your picture.